Chris McDonald is the Chief Executive of the Materials Processing Institute on Teesside and joins us this morning. Morning, Chris.
Good morning, Amy. Thank you for inviting me on this morning.
No problem at all. What's your reaction to this news?
Well, look, this is fantastic news, isn't it? I think we all remember how we felt when, the steelworks in Redcar closed, unnecessarily, in my view, in 2015, and how devastating that was for the area. So to have steelmaking come back to Teesside is great news for Teesside. I am also thinking, though, about people in Scunthorpe, people who I've worked with in Scunthorpe in the past, who will be, reeling from the closure of their steelworks as well. And I say everyone in Teesside understands what that feels like too. So it is a bittersweet announcement in that sense. We welcome this news in Teesside. It's great for the industry that it's going green, but we need to also think about those former colleagues in Scunthorpe and what it means for their future too.
It is amazing that this is going to go green, but just for people like me who maybe haven't been around industry, who maybe don't realise how our old steelworks, one thing, we're going to get these new electric arc furnaces. What will that mean? Will we still be able to produce the same kind and grade of steel that will be able to be used across the world?
Yeah, so this is the big change that's happening with the steel industry all around the world. So steel is one of the biggest emitters of climate change gases, carbon dioxide gases primarily. So the whole steel industry around the world is moving to these electric arc furnaces. And so that's a first step, and it's a necessary step. But I also think as well, and lots of people in the industry too, think that there's another step we need to take after that. Because if we just put these electric arc furnaces in and we melt scrap and we recycle scrap using green electricity, then we're not making what we call primary steel, so essentially steel from iron ore. And that's a problem for some grades of steel. And it's also a problem in terms of our national security and defence as well. So whilst this is a great first step, we need the next step to come after that, which is investment in primary steel making as well.
Right. So like if you got a big order in from like the MOD, you wouldn't be able to do it in this arc furnace?
Well, like I say, it depends on the types of steels. And actually, the steels that we make at the beam mill in Teesside or at Skinning Grove, they're fine. They won't be a problem in terms of the quality. But if you look at, how much steel we need to make in the UK, the amount of steel, there's only so much scrap, so we need to make some steel using iron ore. And also there are some defence grades of steel or automotive grades of steel that need to be made from iron ore too. So it is a great announcement. Steelmaking back to Teesside is fantastic. And what I'm looking for next is let's see the next step of investment, which will be in hydrogen furnaces, which is the latest technology, so that we can bring primary steel making back too.
And are we talking more jobs to Teesside with this announcement, do you think? Well, the change in steel making, will that engineer more jobs?
Well, so the thing is, as the steel industry is going green, it's going smart as well. So we're getting more automation and more digital technologies, and that means that the processes don't require quite as many people as before. So you heard here there'll be about 250 jobs associated with this plant. That's a lot of jobs, but it's not as many jobs as it would have been under the old technology. But one of the things, and this is where maybe when we think about these people in Scunthorpe, one of the things we do need to think about is there are lots of other green industries we want to attract as well, and they also require skilled workers, like new nuclear, hydrogen, which I've already mentioned, offshore wind. And so there's a big opportunity for skilled workers to move out of sectors such as steel and oil and gas and be trained up in these other new sectors too. So as well as looking for investment in new primary steel, I'm also looking for investment in skills as well to help people make that transition.
Chris, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your knowledge with us this morning. Chris McDonald, who is the Chief Executive of the Materials Processing Institute here on Teesside, joining us with a little bit more on that.